Done, sir. I will share you the link with you, sir.
Lokik, I think it's in live. You are
Yes,
on
sir.
unmute. You can mute yourself and share the link. Sharply by 12 o'clock, we'll start Lokik.
Okay, sir. Okay.
कुछ आवाज नहीं आ रही है। अभी शुरू नहीं हुआ, 12 बजे शुरू होगा।
Lokik, can you make everyone as mute?
Viraj, na? Viraj, join.
Lokik, can you make everyone as mute?
विराज नहीं है।
Remove the access.
Done, sir. Done, sir. I done. I remove the access, sir. Yeah. Sure. Should make my call again. Check once. I'll have to get back to you.
Lokik, you are on unmute. Lokik, we'll start in a minute, Lokik.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
We are
Don't
ready.
accept anyone's to unmute. Only Vidya madam, Uma, you and me.
Okay, sir.
Mujib sir, my faculties will take care. I mean, like I'm there, but welcome address and all are given by my faculty. So you can give access to them, sir.
Done. Lokik, can you check?
Yes, sir. Ma'am, can I know the ID name, please?
I think Shoaib Ali, sir. From the thing called Shoaib Ali, the faculty will be joining.
One second. I will check.
Naveen, could you please respond so that they'll know
Yeah.
whom to unmute?
Correct.
Shoaib Ali.
Ma'am, we both are logged in, ma'am. Just I'll be giving from Ali sir's phone only, ma'am. I'm having glitch in my phone and laptop not connecting. So I'll just be giving from Ali sir's this thing. We are at together. We are here, ma'am. Sorry,
Hello. Mujib sir. Mujib sir, could you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Please tell me.
Could you give the answers for the host, sir, students host who are taking off that? Miraj,
Miraj.
and Talha. Yeah,
Okay, ma'am.
please, so that we can start off the program. Miraj and Talha.
I couldn't find any name with Miraj,
You
ma'am.
can see Talha. You can see Talha name, right? It is there.
Talha.
Yeah. If you give answers to him and that Sohaib Ali, we can go ahead, sir.
Okay. Talha Amin, right?
Yeah, Talha.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. She can unmute now.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Miraj Fatima of 5th Family from Alamein College of Pharmacy, welcoming you for today's webinar on next generation clinical research breakthroughs and career roadmaps. This session aims to shed light on the rapidly evolving landscape of clinical research, from cutting edge innovations transforming patient care to emerging roles and skills shaping careers in this dynamic field. Whether you are a student, professional, or a researcher, today's discussion will offer valuable insights into both scientific advancements and practical career pathways. We are excited to have you with us and look forward for an engaging and informative session. I now call upon Dr. Naveen Krishna, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacy Practice, to deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to welcome you all on behalf of Alamein College of Pharmacy. Alamein College of Pharmacy is established in the year 1982 under the aegis of Alamein Educational Society. The college is a nurturing ground and constantly seeking to upgrade the quality of education by actively participating in research and skill development, so as to remain always on the top and serving the pioneer of pharmacy in the field of pharmacy education since its establishment. Department of Pharmacy Practice is currently associated with St. Philomena's Hospital, Bengaluru. The department is a well-established drug information center with good sources of information for all the healthcare professionals. Our department is recognized pharmacovigilance PVPI center and a meteorvigilance program center and hemovigilance center, and is serving the community by various community outreach programs. I'm extremely happy to welcome our dynamic principal, Dr. MD Salahuddin, and our Vice Principal, Dr. Mumil Gani, and my dear HOD, Dr. Vidya ma'am, esteemed speaker, Mr. CS Mujibuddin sir, founder and CEO of Clinosol, and Miss Uma Priya ma'am, founder and director of Clinosol Research, and all the staffs and students. I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the warm and thoughtful welcome address. Now I call upon Abhigna VB, our family intern, to introduce today's first speaker, Mr. CS Mujibuddin, founder and CEO, Clinosol Research.
Good afternoon. It's my honor to introduce our speaker, C.S. Mujibuddin sir. Sir is a highly accomplished professional with an impressive educational background. Holding both an M.Pharm and an MSc in clinical research from Manipal University, he has established himself as a leading figure in the clinical research industry. With over 15 years of experience in the field, Sir has worked in various esteemed organizations such as QPS, Paraxel, Accenture, Oracle, and IQVIA. His extensive knowledge and expertise have allowed him to excel in his role and contribute significantly to the industry. Driven by his passion for teaching, Sir founded his own organization, Clinosol Research Private Limited. Through Clinosol, he has been able to train and mentor numerous aspiring professionals in different domains of clinical research. His dedication and guidance have resulted in the successful placement of over 1,000 students since 2019, making them skilled and career-ready individuals. In addition to his commitment to education, Sir actively participates in industry conferences as an academia partner. Since 2020, he has been an integral part of conferences such as ISCR, SCDM, and ACRP, where he shares his insight and contributes to the advancement in the field. Under Sir's leadership, Clinosol has achieved remarkable success and recognition. The organization has received 9 prestigious awards, a testament to its commitment to excellence and innovation in the clinical research skill development domain. As a renowned speaker at both national and international academic and industry conferences, he brings a wealth of expertise and knowledge to the stage. With his professional tone of voice, he captivates conference participants, delivering insightful presentation that leaves a lasting impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhi. Now I call upon Muhammad Talha Amin, our founding
So I
intern, to
think
introduce
it's
Miss.
time to start the session, or would you? Okay, we can go ahead with one more introduction.
Yes, sir. Now I call upon Muhammad Talha Amin, our founding intern, to introduce Ms. Uma Priya, co-founder and director of operations Clinosol Research.
Uma Priya, with a distinguished academic background, holding an MSc and MBA, embarked on a professional journey in 2004 as a junior associate in medical documentation for US healthcare facilities. Showcasing exceptional skills and unwavering dedication, Uma swiftly ascended through various roles, demonstrating her profound expertise in patient data and clinical research domains. Over the next 20 years, Uma garnered extensive experience in the healthcare and clinical research industry. She transitioned into a quality head and later became a project lead in clinical data management at Dimensions in Infotech, where she led numerous projects with outstanding success until 2018. Her leadership in quality management, project oversight, and strategic process information improvement significantly contributed to the organization's growth. In 2019, driven by her entrepreneurial spirit, Uma co-founded Clinisol Research Private Limited. Her vision and expertise were instrumental in establishing and advancing the company's skill development programs. Under her leadership, Clinisol has become a premier clinical research training and resource consulting organization known for its innovative and comprehensive training methodologies. With 6 years of dedicated training experience, Uma has elevated the standards of clinical research education, empowering countless students and professionals in the industry. Her commitment to excellence, coupled with her ability to inspire and mentor, has made her a respected and influential leader in the field. Uma's contributions over the last 5 years have not only enhanced the quality of clinical research training, but also fostered a culture of continuous learning and professional growth. Uma Priya's remarkable journey from a junior associate to a co-founder and a director exemplifies her dedication, expertise, and visionary leadership in the healthcare and clinical research industry.
Thank you, Talha. I now hereby request Mujibuddin sir to continue with the
I think
session from
Salahuddin
here
sir
on.
has joined, so I think it's better that Salahuddin sir is giving some welcome note so that we can go ahead. Sir, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, sir. Sir, you are on mute. You are on mute, sir. You are on mute.
Very good morning to all the participants. First of all, let me congratulate to the Department of Pharmacy Practice, Dr. Vidya, and all the team members, and the Clinisol research team, Mr. Mujib, and all the team members for joining hands in conducting this webinar, where the knowledge sharing do happen. And congratulations to all the participants for taking interest in learning something new in your expert field domain. And see, the field is dynamic now. Nothing is permanent with the technology, the way it is happening. And especially the pharma profession being with the industry and the clinical side, both having been new every day. So you need to learn knowledge every day as and when it brings a change. And Clinisol Research is doing a fantastic work by imparting the knowledge of the latest and the futuristic, the services that are going to be, the part of the profession. So I do hope this day, the sessions is going to be more knowledgeable. Try to involve yourself, clear your doubts with the experts who are going to speak. Uma is a very good expert, and she has delivered many of the talks for Alamein College of Pharmacy. I'm sure it is going to be a wonderful. Congratulations to the entire team of the Department of Pharmacy Practice of Alamein College of Pharmacy, as well as to the Clinisol research team, and wishing you all good luck and best wishes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Salahuddin sir is always a great leader. We were very fortunate to have the support from Salahuddin sir. The way Salahuddin sir always motivates the youngsters in going in right direction, and Alamein College of Pharmacy is growing in all directions. So we are very fortunate to have this session with all young students. So my topic today will be very much a futuristic topic. Already Salahuddin sir has put a pitch that nothing is going to be permanent and it's going to be the futuristic where technology and regulations and the clinical knowledge and data science and also AI is going to play a major role in terms of designing the clinical research or clinical activities are being going to be happening. So now I'll put a ball one more time in the different areas that why this word clinical research is playing a major role in terms of development of new drugs or device or vaccines or cosmetics or nutraceuticals. What is the need of the clinical research studies? Because we have studied so much of pharmacy, pharmacology, and all those stuff. But now the future, the next generation is not about the existing molecules which are already being used for years together. But now we are focusing on more of futuristic precision medicine or biologics or a device which can prevent a disease before it occurs, or it can be a nutraceuticals where a human being has to have a healthy lifestyle, and then you have a cosmetic products or a vaccines which can prevent any COVIDs or any infectious disorders or something like that. So now the future is more of clinical research. Now, what exactly is clinical research? The discovery of new drugs or a device or a vaccine or any new molecule. So earlier we used to say we are only for dispensing. Now we are saying we are at the molecules. We are at treating a patients with a newer treatments, precise treatments, the right dose and dosage and route of administration. And the precision medicine is the futuristic aspect based on the omics data, based on the all kind of patient information, based on the severity of diseases. That's the future of the research work we are looking at it. So now when we spoke about clinical research, the age-old life stories came into picture. That discovery is of two parts. One is preclinical and one is clinical. The preclinical is being tested on animals and clinical is being tested on human beings. The clinical research studies got into more advancements because we need evidence-based testing. You have tested in animals, but when it works in human beings, is this really works on human beings or not? Whether what is the right efficacy, right dose, and right safety, and right combinations, and right interactions, or right contraindications to be given. What might be the rational use of a drug and which conditions it can be accepted, which interactions it can be accepted, what is a precise medication to be given. Those all stories come to a point where the need of clinical research came into picture. That's what is the beauty, that testing is needed. The human being testing is more and more needed because we need evidence-based molecules. It's not just that you come in one day and say that my molecule is super good, but you have to prove your molecule is really good with an evidence. And the biggest challenge is how you are going to conduct the clinical research studies and clinical trials is more challenging with the latest regulations, with the latest questions are being asked in evidence. Earlier, we used to say, okay, clinical research studies testing in human beings. You have one drug, you have other drug, you test both drugs, A drug and B drug for efficacy and safety. If drug A is good, you go and get approval from the regulatory authority. This is what was there. It was just a comparative A drug to B drug comparative study. Second one, it was just a blinded studies, either single blind, double blind, or triple blind to avoid bias. The third one, it was a randomized that you don't have the subjects in grouping, you randomly pick the subjects. The fourth one, it is centralized where patient have to come to a hospital and participate in trial. The fifth one, where it was small number of patient populations, because you don't find larger patient populations earlier, but now the stories entirely got changed. The stories have got changed, and the latest designs of clinical trials, the latest clinical studies, how you can impart it. I'm going to discuss about that. The advanced clinical trial designs, which are being approved by regulatory authorities. It's not that we are speaking in some dark areas. that how clinical research studies have got changed. I'm going to put you into light and a roller coaster ride where you will enjoy how the clinical studies are getting changed, how the clinical research studies are getting changed, and what is that we are going to happen in the next half an hour. The first one I have is, give me 1 minute. Yeah, give me 1 minute. I'm just taking it. Okay, so what are the different elements we have? I'm going to discuss today. Most important one, which is adaptive design. And remember, my slides will be pictorial along with wordings. Now, what is this adaptive is you circle it and change and change and change and circle. That's what you call it as adaptive design. The second one, you call it as master protocols. Earlier, there was different single to single drug, single to many drugs or something like that. But now we are getting changed. The third one, I'm going to speak about synthetic arms. That's something which is future for clinical trials. Now I'll be speaking about first one adaptive, second one master protocols, third one synthetic arms. That's what is the futuristic aspect of clinical trials, which I'm going to speak today. The first design. So this is very interesting. I always like to speak about this design, adaptive design. So what exactly is adaptive design? I'll take an example here. Let's say, for example, one fixed design. You design a trial saying that A drug is compared to B drug and efficacy and safety is this. The data points is responder is this, non-responder is this, statistical analysis is this, and result is this. You start a trial and you conduct the trial for 2 years. After 2 years, you analyze the data and say that my trial got failed. That was a story. That's a fixed design. That's a fixed design. Your mindset is you joined a B Farm. You have to complete B Farm for 4 years and you come out of it and say that B Farm is good or bad. But now that was a fixed design. So design it and then conduct it and then you go and analyze it. That was the earlier design. Say, for example, treatment A for group, treatment B for group, you give and you do go for analysis and you submit the data. And most of times this gets failed. You started something, but at the end you are coming and telling that study is failed, pharmaceutical company is in loss. Also, human subjects who thought that your drug is good and took it are in risk. That was a fixed design. Now, the things got changed. Okay, how is this getting changed? The first one, you design a trial. So you design a trial saying that I'll take 100 subjects, 100 patients. And 100 patients, 50 patients will take this drug, 50 patients will take that drug. And you start conducting. After 1 year, you stop a trial. And then you analyze the data. You do interim analysis. And then you come up with the solutions, whether I need to continue the trial or modify the trial or terminate the trial, or should I not change anything and we have to go ahead with this. So that is what you go and conduct interim analysis before the end of study to modify it, to adapt it. And continuous adaptation is the process which is called as adaptive design. Okay, I'll modify it. So now, first of all, you designed a trial, then you conducted a trial, and then you went for analysis, which is called as interim analysis. At the middle, you stop the trial and you analyze the data. And then you put it for adaptation. You put it for adaptation saying that, boss, we are modifying it because the number of subjects which we expected is less, or the patients are at risk. We wanted to add some rescue medication into it so that patients are safe. Something like that. And you continuously review that what is my trial design is giving data, or I'm going into right direction or not. The real world data and real world analytics is playing major role here. Now, the maximum amount of time you will not end up failing the study, but you will end up passing the study because you are modifying the trials before it is getting failed. So now, say for example, you took a design with adaptive, treatment A is been there, treatment B is there, but adapted sample size is this one. You are changing it. But in this conventional fixed treatment A, treatment B, you have analyzed and you have got the results. That's it. Nothing more than that. But if you take it as adapting design, you are making treatment A, treatment B, two subjects, but you are increasing the sample size. You are increasing the number of subjects because the voice which you have got is less. the chances of result passing your drug is less. That's why you are increasing the studies, and interim analysis and statistical analysis plays a major role. The statistician gives the information to you how you can do it. So now how adaptive design is being set by FDA. So adaptive design is defined by FDA as clinical trial design allows the prospective planned modifications. It's very clear. You can modify planned modification to one or more aspects designed based on the accumulation of data of subjects in trial. So you have accumulation of data and you are using the data for analysis purpose and going forward to make sure that the trial is not getting failed and it is going and getting passed. So that's the future. The future is not that you start a trial and you end up with a fail or pass. So remember one very important point, clinical trials are not just phase 1, 2, 3, 4. These are more beyond. The advanced clinical trial designs are important for youngsters to learn so that you go into right jobs. So remember the fixed designs, including the randomization, including the placebo control, including the blinded studies, including the closed hospitals, including small number of subjects, have been gone into a very old or traditional systems. We are not asking what are the phases of trials. We don't want it. We are not asking about what is the designs which you know, either it is single blind, double blind, or triple blind. We are trying to ask students that what is adaptive design? How is this different from fixed design? What is the advantage of adaptive designs towards the fixed designs? That's something is future which we are trying to understand and learn. So now adaptive design, one of the best example with case study I have given. So now case study on dose response. Say for example, adaptive design, you have took this conventional system, interim analysis, and then you have put original sample size. But you can put adaptive clinical trial design with sample size reassessments. It means that you started a trial and at a particular point you have stopped and interim analysis is done, and you are increasing the sample size so that your trial gets a right solutions. That's one more thing, which is sample size reassessments. Now the next one is based on the response of adaptive randomization. So you can randomize the subjects into multiple different groups also. You can change the doses based on the requirements also. You can change the inclusion exclusion criteria based on the results of interim analysis. The overall point here is it's a very complicated things, but this gives a maximum amount of times that the study is getting passed, and you are most of times your drug is getting into market because you are changing or you are stopping the trial at the middle. You don't need to go and spend a lot of money and efforts, and tomorrow you come and say that my study is failed. So this is what is the future for adaptive design when it is compared with the fixed. So these are the big advantage. The advantage is increasing of probability for successful for your new therapy. You have very less chances to fail a drug. Maximize the information for the trial. You have lot of trial data to take a decision. The future is all about data driven decisions. It's not that theoretically you come and speak all those things. Maximize the information from the trial and take the decision based on the available data is more important. Shortens the timeline, so it does not require huge timelines. It shortens the timelines. Overall development cost of a drug molecule reduces because the chances of failure is less, and the chances of overspending expenditure and costing and time and resources is reduced because you're speaking with data driven decisions at the interim analysis. So that's what is more important for you. Reduce the risk for the study volunteers and sponsors. This is the biggest one. The risk for the subjects tomorrow after the study whole is failed, and you are going and saying that, sorry, boss, your study got failed and we are really sorry. So it does not happen in that way. It should be in such a way that how the study volunteers get the benefit by adaptive design, and also sponsor. Tomorrow you can't go and say that, boss, really sorry that your money is lost because we have not designed properly a clinical trial design. Remember, the clinical research or academic research, wherever you go, either you are doing a PharmD or a B.Pharm or M.Pharm or whatever you are doing it, remember one of the most important point is future is the research and evidence-based molecules and evidence-based activities. If you want to live in a future, try to understand now only the technology, the designs, and the clinical knowledge and the regulation knowledge. Adaptive design is being accepted by regulatory authorities. That's what is the future is more important for you. So maximize the probabilities of going into clinical trials also. So now the next biggest one is master protocol. So master protocol is one of the most important thing which you have to understand. Earlier, we used to say one drug is compared to other drug. Diclofenac is compared to paracetamol, or diclofenac is compared to paracetamol and insulin. For example, I'm saying. But the future is of master protocols which are entirely different. It's a more complex but gives the solutions very nicely. See, I'll tell you the basic agenda for clinical research studies. You need less time, less money, less resource, more quality. Most important words, 4 words: less time, less money, less resources, and good quality. Authentication of quality, data integrity of the quality is more important for us. So now the future is master protocols. What is master protocol and how these are designed into it? So now master protocols are classified into subgroups and sub-studies. Now one big study will be there. In that big study, you put all the studies, subgroups and sub-studies into it within the same patient group and different diseases, so that we can have multiple treatments for oncology or for diabetology, wherein simultaneously we can assess one or more drugs. I'll tell you the story here. That tomorrow, a discovery scientist might come and say that, boss, I have 4 drugs, but out of these 4 drugs, I don't know which drug will act. So we can't test for 4 drugs, 4 clinical trials. We need to detect or identify 4 drugs to be tested in one particular disease. That's what is the one design which you have to understand. 4 drugs tested in one disease. That's first one. Now, say for example, there is only one drug. And I don't know this drug might act on cancer A, B, C, D. So for everything, you can't have 4 studies. One drug, multiple diseases. 4 drugs, one disease. So this is what is the opposite directions where we are going as a master protocol. There is one more advanced protocol, that you have 4 drugs and 4 diseases. You really don't know which drug will act on which disease, and this is also considered as one study. So now you have Group A, for example, I'm telling one design, which is 4 drugs and one disease. Group A, drug 1, Group B, drug B, Group C, drug C, Group D, drug D in one cancer, pancreatic cancer. And we are having 4 groups testing in one disease, which means that 4:1. That's a one design. The opposite design. So, for example, you have one drug A is there, but you have a group of disease: pancreatic cancer, liver cancer, and stomach cancer, and then duodenal cancer. 4 cancers are there. And you are giving this drug in a different dose to one disease, different dose to other disease, different combination to other disease, and different route of administration to other disease. And you are finding out the solutions out of it. So that's the second design. The third design is multiple drugs are there and multiple diseases are there, and which drug will act on which disease, we don't know. So there are 4 groups of drugs, 4 groups of diseases. You are comparing these 4 drugs into multiple groups of diseases to come up with a solution that which drug acts on which disease. That's what is the future for you, which is called as master protocols. The first one I already have spoken, basket design. So this looks as a basket. That's why we call it as basket design. So only one drug. So for example, cancer drug A. It can be tested, or it can be good at breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, lung cancer, or colon cancer. So you have 4 groups of diseases, but only one drug. That one drug, which disease it is capturing more efficacy, which disease it is having more safety, I'm going to look into it. That's what is called as the basket design. One drug, multiple indication. Simple, one drug, multiple indication. A protocol employing a single therapeutic in multiple patient groups, divided into parallel sub-studies. Subgroups with a robust responses may be expanded to achieve the statistical significance. At the end, we have the statistical significance that which disease is giving the right efficacy and right safety. Based on it, we are going to have it particularly in master class or master protocol. The first one is your basket designs. The next one, umbrella design. So this is also a very interesting story where you have the umbrella design, that one disease, lung disease, and now cancer A, cancer B, cancer C, cancer D, or cancer A plus B and control arm. So multiple drugs are there, but only one disease is there, and it is looking like an umbrella. So a protocol with more than one targeted therapy or study for a single disease. A patients are divided multiple parallel groups of treatment receiving different amount of drugs or drug combination. Drug A, drug B, drug A plus B, and control arm or existing drug arm. So multiple drugs are being taken. Such studies usually include a control arm wherein the patients of control will be compared with the drug A or B or A plus B or A plus B plus C. Umbrella designs may include multiple doses of same drug for dose finding purpose also. Understand the drug A, multiple doses can be there in subgroups of the studies. Multiple drugs, one indication, one disease is future, which is called as umbrella design. The third one is platform design. The platform design is most interesting that your multiple IPs are tested across multiple indications. Different drugs, different diseases are being tested. The complexity, both umbrella and basket. So it's a combination of umbrella and basket. One drug, multiple diseases, multiple drug, one disease. So this is something which is complex design, may be more beneficial, particularly for phase one, allowing fast screening of IPC because multiple drugs are there and multiple diseases are there. Which drug is acting on which disease, we don't know. Multiple drugs, multiple indications. So this is what is called as your platform designs. The next design, very advanced design, is your decentralized clinical trials. So this picture is the future for you. The patients will never ever come to a hospital or a pharmacist. It can be happening that patient will be sitting at the home and every patient home will become a hospital or a site for you. That's the future, how you are going and looking into it. The decentralized is also referred as siteless or hospitalless or virtual study model. It means that you don't need a patient to travel to a patient or hospital and spend time. So you are saving time, efforts, and also the retention of patient is increased. Now, say for example, I'm telling that here there is a one central pharmaceutical company which is with database or which is with platform. So now first what happens is first there is a patient home and then lab facility and then you have doctors and then you have all people associated to it surrounding to it. Say for example, patient wanted a drug, so we can send the drug from central location to a patient. Patient wanted to participate in lab, then he can go into particularly lab in any time. Patient wanted to go to a doctor, he can go to a local doctor who is available. Only few visits he will come, the all the other visits he can go ahead with virtual. So that's what is the future. So now what are the different digital technologies used? Okay, now I'll tell you what are the different technologies used. The first one, lab data. Lab data, nearest lab information, we can take it, or you can give any lab devices to a patient where he can do it by himself. Vital signs, there are so many apps which are there, which can control or which can monitor the vital signs. The local x-rays can be done. E-consent can be taken with the view of telemedicine or telepharmacy. The virtual visits for vital signs and also the watches, the sensors, and SAEs can be reported with the help of electronic systems. So all these aspects are being used in decentralized clinical trials. The decentralized is siteless or virtual study model where the study design plays a major role, patient at the center of the trial with the aim to limit or to eliminate the need of patient to travel it to investigational site there. That the future is the patient will not be able to travel and will not come to a hospital to give the samples or to give the vital signs or to take the drug or to report an adverse event or to give the lab samples or anything like that. Patient can do virtually with the help of technology and ecosystem. Already Salahuddin sir has put a lot of pressure on a word called as technology, and this is the future of technology, that digital technologies which are used in DCT, including your telemedicine, telepharmacy, EHR data, and monitoring of wearables and sensors and blockchain technology, big data and data analytics and data visualization, including the statistical analysis also can be used. So this is what is the decentralized clinical trials. Now, this is a more interesting story, the synthetic arm. So synthetic arm is becoming more popular nowadays, and it is becoming more interesting story that how we can have the synthetic arms. Now, the say for example, your drug is there and you wanted to test your new drug for cancer. Cancer A drug, for example, cancer A drug you wanted to test, particularly in colon cancer. So colon cancer you wanted to test your drug. So you said, okay, I'll test colon cancer drug, which is my drug, and also already marketed drug. I'll take this, and I'll put one group already marketed drug and one more group my drug. So now story got twisted. Now, what is the twist we are getting it here is your new drug can be tested on humans, but one more arm where you are going and giving to the patients, which is already existing treatment. Why do you want to test it now? Already patients are taking the drug, and why can't we use that data and analyze that data with your drug data, not putting the new patients into the pressure? That's what is the discussion which is happening. So now future will be a synthetic arm, which means that a patient already taking the drug, we are just collecting the data and we are comparing your drug data which is on clinical testing, by which we are reducing the time, we are reducing the efforts, and we are reducing the cost, time, money, and improving the quality of data. So synthetic arm, what happens is the design where one or more study arms are replaced by previously collected data, either from clinical studies or real world data. You might have previous study data, you can use that also, or you might have the real world evidence data which you can do it, wherein the synthetic arms are being tested. So randomized clinical trials, real world evidence studies, which means that data lakes, and we are sitting on data and we are collecting huge amount of data. Say for example, Anamik College is collecting a data, particular cases for one particular disease. That data can be put archived particularly, and we can use this as synthetic arm, and candidate can be historically available on this. Candidate can be put into this particular aspects. That's what you call it as the synthetic arm. The synthetic arm is your candidates with historic patients with eligibility criteria, and you can take this for a newer product, and this reduces the timeline, this improves your quality, and this improves your need for approval to the market. The next one, the biggest one, the quality of design or quality by design. The future is all about QBD. It's not about without having a quality. Everywhere, wherever you go, you will spoken about the qualities. The first one is the quality by design. The first one is plan. You plan a design, and then you do it, and then you continuously check it, and then you act it. So PDCA, so which is called as plan, do, check, and act. This is what you call it as your future, which is quality by design, the proactive risk managements, wherein the risk where is there, you are only reviewing that data, you are not reviewing entire information which is available. Say for example, you are going to a particular hospital and collecting huge amount of data. Not necessary that all data has to be reviewed, but the risk associated for the patient safety or for patient credibility and data credibility is more concerned. Not that what you are thinking that all data has to be reviewed. Risk based or proactive risk based approach is needed, which is PDCA, plan, do, check, and act, which is your quality by design. So risk is more which is associated. So now CTQs, what are the CTQs? Which is the critical to qualify or the critical to quality factors for data in clinical trials, because the data which is coming from clinical trials is very important, because the first word which I used is evidence-based molecules. The future is all about evidence-based molecule. You don't have anything else. The third party data, which is lab data, the protocol design is wonderful and very important. See, the whole study lies pass or fail will be only with one thing. That is your protocol design. The protocol design is the strongest one, the nicest one, then your future is yours. Next one, feasibility. The third one, patient safety, conduct and reporting. So this is the future of the CTQS for the clinical trials. Now, one of the most interesting thing, I think everyone knows about it, the clinical research, clinical data management, pharmacovigilance, medical writing, regulatory affairs, SAS or TMF, project manager, HUR, or clinical data scientist. All these are latest job opportunities which are coming. The latest advancement in design and execution. First one I have already spoken, which is adaptive trial design that allows a protocol modification based on interim analysis. The second one, basket trial designs. The third one, electronic consent, e-consent without patient coming into it, virtual. AI-powered patient matching, that's a fifth one. And digital twins, the simulating treatment responses before actual administration happens. So these are the latest advancement of trial designs. Now, point here, what are the skill sets you require? So I think I have spoken so much about future and the roller coaster ride, that how the clinical trial studies and clinical research studies are going to be there. I just spoke one small topic, which is clinical trial design. There are so many things in data management and pharmacovigilance and AI/ML and data science models, or pharmacovigilance and statistic models, which mathematical models, which can be used now. The required skill sets for clinical research: 78% of your regulations and guidelines, including NDCT and GCP guidelines. I'm very fortunate that we have conducted one of the GCP workshop in Alamein College last year. When we were in Bangalore, we conducted one GCP workshop, which is 78% of requirement for a companies, and 65% of digital literacy, including digital apps or digitalizations or blockchain or big data or data science or Hadoop or visualization, all those things, the position depending, the proficiencies and electronic data captures and digital workforce. 82% of communication skills. I know that Alamein students are doing great with respect to communication skills. The roles requires the excellent written and verbal communication abilities for documentation and also collaboration. 70% analytical thinking. The employers are seeking candidates with strong problem solving and analytical reasoning capabilities. And also the requirement is more of innovation rather than copying and pasting, though that's a required skill sets. Now, tech focused skills in modern clinical research: learn SAS or Python or SPSS for data analysis, experience in EDC platforms, Medidata, Oracle Informs, understanding the data privacy, GDP, and also HIPAA, blockchain fundamentals for data integrity and application for data transfers and credibility, machine learning concepts for predictive analytics and data analytics and algorithms. These are the futuristic aspects where you can do it. Now, how Clinosol is helping upgrading your careers? We provide specialized trainings in clinical research, CDM, PV, medical writing, and regulatory affairs and statistics, and also in AI/ML and the latest advancements in clinical studies. That's the first specialized training. The structured model trainings, we provide latest technology in clinical research from EDC to advanced analytics. We provide hands-on workshop. Already we have conducted one of the workshop last year, and I think we are planning one more workshop for GCP or for GDP or for latest advancements. The practical experience with industry standards and EHR integration and data visualization and blockchain applications. The career development, the comprehensive CV and interview preparation, personalized mentorship and industry expertise, and also placement support, direct connections with industries and providing the job opportunities for families or P firms. We are trying to provide more opportunities for the team. The next level of jobs and future outlook: emerging career opportunities, the digital clinical trial managers, real world data, global strategic, navigating complex approvals, and also AI implementation leads, patient experience directors. As technology is transforming the clinical research, pharmacists will be combined with clinical and technical expert will be ideally positioned for leadership roles in evolving landscape. So with this, I would like to thank everyone who have joined this session. Thank you so much. I am open for questions, but due to lack of time, I would first invite Uma to complete the session. In the meantime, I'll take the sessions or I'll take the answers at the end of the session. Thank you so much, everyone who have joined. I think Saturday afternoon, lunchtime also, everyone is here. I'm very thankful for all the students and management and or Salahuddin sir and Vidya madam for giving me opportunity. So thank you so much. Vidya madam, anything else? Can we continue the session too? Or do you have anything?
Thank you, Mujibuddin sir. Thank you. Your session was indeed very valuable. Now we would like Uma ma'am to take over from here. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Thank you. Uma, I think you can share the slides. I'll take the questions at the end, guys. I'll take the questions at the end. You guys can put the questions in chat box, and I'll be able to take the questions at the end.
The question and answer session will be open at the last 10 minutes after both the sessions are over. So please cooperate.
Yeah. Uma, you can start the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
First of all, I would like to thank Alamin College Management, Principal Sir, Mubin Ma'am, Vidya Ma'am, all the HODs, faculty, and all the students for being with us today for this wonderful session. Just allow me a moment.
Ma, you stop sharing.
Some network issues. Just a moment.
I'll be staying in this room, Oma, and students can put your questions here. You can put your questions, and before I leave you, today we have one more webinar at 7 o'clock, which is about the Canadian opportunities in clinical research. It's free for all. Please join and please do learn more about what are the Canadian opportunities you have, particularly to clinical research. PharmDs and B Farms, you have completed your things, and then what is your future in Canada? What are the opportunities and what are the companies which are hiring and what skill sets companies are looking? Also, you can join us at 7 o'clock and you can look into those things. Yeah, your
All
screen
right.
is visible. You can put it full screen.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, thank you so much for the management, Principal Sir, Salahuddin Sir, for always encouraging us. And Sir always stands first when it comes to the student benefit and the kind of learning that the college students receive from Alamein College of Pharmacy. Especially our sincere thanks to Vidya Madam one more time encouraging us along with Principal Sir in all our activities, the kind of learning that we provide to the students and all the HODs and everybody who is involved here today behind the screens, on the screens in making this kind of a session possible within a very short notice and all the students for joining us today one more time. So today we are going to discuss on bridging the gap. You have already listened to Mujib sir on what are the latest advancements in clinical research, how you have to be career ready. Okay, today I'm going to throw a little focus on here along with the resume building as well as how to personally brand yourself. So the first question to all the students out here is, are you really industry ready? That may be any role, okay? So you have to have this question all the time. Are you really ready for the industry? You are ready for the examinations, definitely, but you are ready for getting the certificates. You are ready for, being a student, but are you ready to being a professional? This first question, I'm starting my session, and we all know that resume is one such document which is going to uh, get to the interviewer, the HR or the interviewer. This is the first ever document, of all your entire skills that you have learned over all these years. So how you have to write your 15 years of learning in one paper is the biggest question. So what to be added, what should not be added, how to copy in a better way, right? We all copy. So even while copying, what are the best practices that you have to understand? I suggest not to copy anything because it's your own story, it's your job. So try to draft it with the guidance that we are going to provide over here today. And you can also personally connect with us for upgrading your LinkedIn as well as your resumes. So, Sir has spoken vastly about the latest technologies, the wearables, the patient-centric trials, the decentralized trials, the virtual realities. A lot of things Sir has spoken about. Why I'm one more time bringing it into picture is you have to understand how rapidly the industry is growing. When we were thinking about only so in 2000s, hardly having a phone was difficult for us. Now, within 10 years or a decade, we have smartphones. Tomorrow, we don't know what kind of a technology is going to come. And in 2000, I used to work on DOS systems, not even on my Microsoft Windows. But now we are seeing Windows, so many updates, and don't know what kind of a platform is going to come. AI is ruling this world very rapidly. So we have to be very quick enough to be, uh, touching that kind of a topic or the subject where that is not being taught during your academic curricula. So, what do you think? Which technology may be vanishing or getting obsolete in the next 5 years? You can put your answer in the chat box. Because CRFs are going to vanish. CRFs are the case report forms on which we collect the patient information. So, site-only visits. Vijay sir was speaking a lot about the decentralized trials, different protocols, the designs, the adaptive clinical trials, right? And then manual lab processing. Everything, you name everything. All these are going to get obsolete within the next 5 years. So everything is electronic data capture. Sir always speaks about the decarbonization because cutting down the trees is something which is very harmful to the environment. So how are we facing these challenges with the electronic data capture? Also to make sure that our data is at a centralized location, accessible to every individual at just the fingertips, right? And it's being stored in cloud databases these days, and the data manipulations are very less when compared to the earlier times. And we are able to even monitor, even do data analytics, run such kind of things on the data that we are collecting, which is having first time quality. Earlier, we used to do double data entry. Now it's completely vanished. You have to, within single attempt, give that type of quality. So I'm not going very deeper into this, but these are the technologies that are going to vanish. So how quick you have to adopt to the technology is the point over here. If you could see the global clinical research market, this is the latest stat, and this is the latest statistics report. And you can see the global market is increasing day by day in the clinical trials, name it pharmacovigilance, data management, regulatory affairs, or medical writing. So growth in India, these are the fields where you have lots of growth in India when compared to the global kind of a situation. So we are very nearer to the global kind of a growth as a evolving or a growing country. So these are the different opportunities for youngsters like you from pharmacy backgrounds, apart from the traditional roles that you already have. Okay, if anyone is interested, you can focus on these kinds of areas going forward. This is the career ladder. Sir has spoken about lots of opportunities for you. So just starting with a trainee or an associate role within 12 years span, you are going to even become a director. Sometimes within 20 years time, people are becoming vice presidents of companies, also earning lakhs and crores of rupees, very much equivalent to the IT industry. And the add-on advantage in this industry is it's recession proof because we always need new molecules that may be preventive, that may be the diagnosing type of diagnostics or the kind of treating kind of things such as the drugs or the biologics, biosimilars, cell and gene therapies, you name anything, right? Right from the preventive care, quality of life, including your disease prevention, you need lots of products coming out. So definitely the industry is growing. So how do you understand which role out of these many big lists, of positions you are going to fit for? The first thing is if your data analytical skills are good, better get into data management or clinical statistical roles. If you are detail oriented, your pharmacology skills are good, get into pharmacovigilance. Your communication, the written communication is very good. You have done some publications, then definitely you can get into medical writing. If the rules, laws, right, regulations interest you, then regulatory affairs is the best match for you. So resume building, which is the passport for your job, the entry for any job is your resume, right? So when drafting a resume, we see lots of resumes day in and day out. The huge mistakes that we see generally is uh, right from the header point, right? Your name, your contact information, your mail ID, right from there we find lots of mistakes. Unprofessional mail IDs, right? Uh, coolguy123@gmail.com. You can understand the kind of professional uh, tone this email itself is displaying, right? Recruiters are not interested to such kind of, you know, email IDs. Just saying such email IDs, we put the profiles away because we understand that this person is not serious. Okay, so your filtration for job starts right from your email ID on your CV. And then comes your LinkedIn profile. Most of the recruiters, more than 90% of the recruiters these days, first go to your LinkedIn profile. They check what kind of a content you are posting, how good you are with that subject, or what kind of a relevance you have. Then only they are going to the next levels, which you have to understand. And then comes the professional summary. So most of the times we copy from our seniors or someone from the internet, which is not our story. If it is not our story, definitely HRs are going to catch it off. So you have to be very much, sincere over here. This is your story, your job. You have to write with your own hands. Okay. And you always have to write it within 3 to 4 lines, not so much, and with your qualification, right? And then the current kind of a skills which are relevant for this particular role, whatever may be the role that you are applying for, that will be a traditional role or any clinical research related role. And then comes your aspirations. And with this short summary, one could understand, the recruiters could understand where they can see you in the next 5 years or 10 years. So this should be reflecting all your aspirations, the future growth, right? Such kind of things have to be added to your summary kind of a section. Then your achievements, okay? So what kind of skills, what kinds of achievements you have, that may be GCP certificate, that may be any other 21 CFR Part 11 certificate or any other certificates that you have. And especially if you have worked with patient care, how many areas you have reported, how many patients you have counseled, everything is in numbers. I'm saying Alamin College is number one in Bangalore. Okay. So how am I saying that? Right from the student intake till the students going out. If 100 students have been taken in, how many of them are going out with good scores, right? How many of them are having any backlogs? How many of them are getting jobs? So everything is data. Okay. If I'm measuring success, it's with the data, right? If someone is saying that you are a 90% candidate, definitely you have a rank card with you with all the marks, then the percentage, then only it's going to say that you are a 90% candidate, right? It's not always that. There is a myth in the industry that if a person is a gold medalist or having a 90% of score, that person is going to perform so good in the practical area. I have seen so many students failing when a practical challenge has been given to the students. So if I give a case to you, asking you to solve this case, pull the information of the challenge, re-challenge, whatever may be the scenarios I'm asking for, people are unable to pull such kind of information. So, but when I have discussed with Vidya madam or Salahuddin sir, I have seen that the kind of exposure your college is giving. You are going to Philomena Hospital, and the kind of exposure your faculty, your principal sir is giving, really commendable. So I cannot compare you with any other college or with any other student across, at least in Bangalore. Okay, so you have such kind of wonderful faculty, principal who are always behind you, supporting you, pushing you towards the kind of learning that you should be having. You have that kind of a competitive edge in you, which you have to utilize, right? So always you have to measure your achievements in terms of the numbers, okay? And then timelines. So within how much time you are able to cut down these costs, the kind of adverse events you have been able to control, right? Within how much quick you can respond is what the critical thinking, the problem solving skills are a reflect of your quantifiable achievements, which you have to put on the top of the resume after your summary part. Okay, then comes the keywords. So you always have to add all the relevant skills that you are going to apply for what kind of a role you are going to choose. That is very much important. If it is not matching, then definitely recruiters are going to put it away. So what is the basic structure of a resume? I have said 3 to 4 sentences of the professional summary, then the skills section that you have, including your technical, technological, as well as the soft skills. And if you have created any protocols, ICF, CRF, such kind of documents, and then experience is not always required. Though you are a fresher, you can put up your internship experience or any project work that you have done under any of your HODs or under your principals are is a very generous person. You can go and ask your HODs, your principals are that you want to do a project. Definitely they are going to support you. Put it down and ask your, if you have done really a good job, ask them to endorse you in LinkedIn for the kind of quality product that you have given or the project that you have submitted with the outcomes that you have produced. And then last comes your education and your certificates. What kind of degrees you have, because you are fresher, your Farm D or your B Farm or your M Farm, then comes your intermediate and standard. Once you get some experience, remove all the remaining things, only put up the latest degree that you have, the highest degree that you have, remaining all degrees are not relevant, then comes your experience matters. So companies need that type of a resume. So your education is a qualification to get in. Okay, the first gate to get in, not the end gate. So when we compare a poorly crafted resume versus a well-crafted resume, these are the fields that a poorly crafted resume will have. It will not have any impressive summary. It will not have any kind of a relevant skills and no experience or no projects or nothing, no certifications or impressive LinkedIn profile. But when it comes to a well-crafted resume, you'll have a beautiful, engaging summary highlighting all your skills and experiences. Then comes your specific relevant skills for that particular role, your experiences and the certifications, the industry relevant certifications that you have. This is how it looks like. What are the essential do's and don'ts? So keywords are always important. The skill sets, especially the technical and soft skills, which I have discussed just a bit. So many people write hardworking, team player, where they have really not worked in any team, whether they are not very good in hardworking. If I'm asking that, there is a day in a company where I have got an additional project requirement. I'm asking you to work on Sunday or Monday or Saturday extra hours. Will you be able to work? Then you are saying no, but you are writing in your resume that you are a hardworking, you are sincere, so and so kind of terminologies, but it is not matching with the interview, then they doesn't make any sense. Okay, so you always have to be ready to take up the challenges. You should be a problem solver. You should be a critical thinker. Okay, you should be a very good communicator. You should be a very good person in convincing the teams. You should be very good in convincing with your skill and knowledge, not just by your words. The projects and certifications, the LinkedIn publications, these are the percentages where they are going to give that kind of a visibility to you, that kind of where industries are looking at people to have all these things, where you are getting more chances to get through the first or second gates of the interview. And these days we are using the ATS system. So understand, the person is not checking your CV, the machines are checking your CV. So if it is not met, earlier we used to consider a little here and there, but machines definitely they don't consider because the criteria has not fed to the computer, to that machine, right? So they don't have that kind of a consideration. If someone is saying that they're not going to pay a fee within this timeline, principals are maybe giving additional timeline because he's a human being, he can understand the pain of that person. But machines do not understand this, right? Whatever you give the input, they only work according. So you have to be very careful when you are especially applying to companies which are using the ATS or application tracking system tools. All the MNCs are using these days. And what are the don'ts are irrelevant hobbies, which are not at all relevant to your kind of a field, such as dancing, listening to music, playing games, may not be relevant. Okay, if you're saying that you are involved in community surveys, NGO kind of programs, patient education programs, right? Then that may be the relevant hobbies. Though in your past time you are giving the dedicated work towards the patient care or the health care, which is what is going to impress the people. But don't write anything which you have not done. Okay, and don't write any long paragraphs. Always use bullet points to write about your skill sets and your soft skills. Don't write your hardworking. Don't write your communication levels is good. Level is good. Always quantifiable measures with how good you have performed and how much timelines you have cut down, how effectively you have counseled the patient by retaining the subject in the study, right? Or how effectively you have, treated them. Okay, this is what is required over here. So no unprofessional emails, which I have already mentioned to you. So there is a huge gap between the academia and the industry. When you check out your textbooks, the date of their the version they have printed, right? Most of the students are saying it's somewhere around 2008 to 2012, but today we are in 2025. There's a huge gap which you have to bridge, and such kind of programs which your faculty, your principals and management are conducting are definitely going to connect you with the industry, what kind of latest things that are happening. So after COVID, Schedule Y got changed into NDCT, and now NDCT also has been amended in 2024. We have Schedule M. How many of you know? If I'm asking what is the blockbuster drug in 2024 or a flop drug, for which reason, how many of you know the answer, which is relevant to your own industry? So you have to ask this question to yourself. Certificates, academic kind of a knowledge is very much good because that's a basic pillar. But you should be putting up the walls, the ceiling, right? Then only it becomes, or it is called as a house, right? That is what you have to build for your career. So the theoretical knowledge is that almost it's publication based kind of a knowledge that you are getting. Research methodology is limited. Scientific principles are outdated when it compared to the latest kind of things. Okay. So industry wants you to be practical. Industry wants you to be regulatory compliant when it comes to whatever country for which you are submitting, that would be IND, NDA, or in India we submit ANDA applications. They want you to know the regulatory requirements when especially dealing with vulnerable population, when you're testing new drugs in human beings. How are you dealing with such kind of vulnerable patients? Such kind of regulations you should be knowing, and the SOPs and documentation. What documentation is required for you to conduct the clinical trial, including the protocols, ICFs, informed consent forms, CRFs, clinical study reports. So many documents are required. The SOPs by the sponsored company or the manufacturing companies, which you have to follow as standard operating procedures. Then comes the timelines and the budget, because the people who are going to develop these drugs are investing crores of rupees on R&D activities. So definitely it will be their pain point. If any mistakes happen, the approval may get delayed or even get stopped because of the mistakes that others do, not the sponsor. Sponsor is spending money. So definitely you'd be looking for people who can cut down the timelines, who can really put their skill in, and they can reduce the budget of the sponsor with not repeated errors, because repetitive errors are going to cost lots of money from the sponsor, which has to be reduced. And people like you who understand this can do all this. So skill gap, industry demands practical skills, academic curriculum definitely lacks something. High competition is there with ATS these days. You are competing, if you are going into the industry, you are competing with at least 6 people like you. So how are you standing out is what you have to think. Okay. So lack of exposure is something where most of the early stage professionals struggle about. So 75% of the resumes are these days being filtered by the ATS system. uh, Definitely the key word should be matching. Zero experience, no worries. You always have to put up your for projects, not the academic ones, the industry relevant projects, the internships as well as the certifications are required over here. So avoid always the generic kind of a resumes. Always tailor. If you are applying to different roles, craft your resume accordingly. So yeah. The next thing is personal branding. So you have a resume now, you have added all the skills, but how recruiters will come to know who you are, what do you do, what kind of a skills that you have, right? So the best possible way is your LinkedIn, where you can get that kind of a personal recognition, the kind of a branding over there. You always have to add a professional photograph and a good looking banner with your aspirations, the kind of skills that you have. Always add a relevant kind of a headline and about section. You should be a good storyteller over here with all the keywords that you have learned about that particular industry. And internship projects, all these things are very much mandated. Then skills and endorsements. I have said that you go to your HODs, your faculty, your principals, sir, ask for projects, ask them to review, and if the work is good, ask them to endorse you over LinkedIn, which gives that kind of a visibility to your profile. So always share. Consistency is important. Consistently post something on the skills that you have or the latest industry updates. Follow the dream company that you have, what kind of projects they are doing, what kind of new treatments they are bringing, right? So you have to follow such kind of things. So the industry trends can be posted, your certifications, the research summaries have to be posted, and you always have to engage with experts and fellow students like you who are in the very same kind of a field. Across India, every institution has a different kind of a teaching methodology, though the syllabus is same, right? So you have to connect with those people and know how you are different from them. If you are good, teach them. If you are lacking in somewhere, you learn from them is the policy that you have to apply for your career. So I don't want to speak about us. You already know so many things about Clinosol, right? So the key takeaways of today's session is always you have to stand apart with the industry relevant skills, optimize your resume, optimize your LinkedIn profile, okay? Then always engage in continuous learning via our free webinars, via the LinkedIn's free kind of programs that are happening. And we are always open for the questions that you have. Thank you so much. And we do not know what's going to happen in the future, which technology is going to come. But today is in our hand. Past is something that we have left behind. We now regretting about the past. We have not done this is not going to help you out. So always plan for the tomorrow because it's your life. Only you can do it for yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. They may be supporting you, they may be helping you, but they cannot live your life, right? So always seize today is important and always try to embrace the future with your skills, knowledge, and the kind of competency that you have to build should always be there. For this, I'm stopping my session. We are open for the questions. If you have any questions, please put down in the chat box. We are happy to answer.
The question and answer session is open for all of you to ask questions. You can put your questions in the chat box.
I request our team to share the feedback link over here so that students can share their experiences and if anything that they are looking at, definitely we are going to plan, address your query, and we would definitely like to work on your queries, your questions, and we always try to give the best to you. Any questions from today's session? That may be technical, general, or anything. We are open to take up your questions.
The chat box is open for all of you to ask questions.
Guys, if any questions are there, kindly put up in the chat box so that the speakers can clarify your doubts.
So Bhiksha has raised her hand. Well, everyone has an option to unmute and ask, or you can use the chat box.
You can unmute yourself and ask questions or put your questions in the chat box.
Thank you, Vishwas. So there are so many free tools. You can use Canva, so you can use Canva, you can use Novo Resume, and you can also use the LinkedIn platform to write your own resume. When you are filling all the fields, it's giving a PDF version of your resume. So you can use all these free tools for building up your resume. So don't copy anything from others because there may be so many errors in it. And when it comes to the font, the kind of colors and all, don't use any other colors other than black, slate gray, okay, and dark blue. These are the only three colors that are allowed for resumes, and no selfie pictures, okay, and no funky fonts first. So always use the professional fonts. Even if you are typing in Google, the professional fonts it will be giving you. But Times New Roman, Arial, these are all the uh, Calibri. These are all the basic kinds of fonts we can use. Okay. Abdul Qayyum, there are so many jobs in clinical research or the pharmacology side in Canada. You have to join today's evening session. 7 o'clock, we have a session. We'll be sharing the link with Vidya ma'am and all your faculty. You can join that session and you can talk to the experts from Canada. Okay. So all the clinical research related jobs are available in Canada because we have the Health Canada over there. Mostly, we have the national health centers over there. So you'll be getting jobs in national health centers. We also have a couple of CROs over there. And if you are getting into Canada, it would be easier for you to even go to US after a couple of years. So these are all the friendly countries nearby. You can go to US also. So basically, the research work is happening from the US mostly. So the jobs are very much there, but definitely you have to find a right way. Uh, going from a MS program or kind of similar programs, not like a direct job.
Okay, thank you, madam, for providing information.
So thank you so
Thank you,
much
ma'am.
to
Thank you
all
for
the
the informative
faculty.
session. Thank you for the very
You're
informative
most
session.
welcome. You're most
Uh,
welcome.
I
Most
hope
welcome.
no one has any questions. Now I
If
request
no
Dr.
questions, we
Shoaib.
can wind up.
Now I request Dr. Shoaib Ali, our Assistant Professor of Department of Pharmacy Practice, to deliver the vote of thanks and conclude today's session.
So, good afternoon. On behalf of Alamin College of Pharmacy, it is my privilege to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all of you for making the webinar successful. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. M.D. Salahuddin Sir, Principal, Alamin College of Pharmacy, our Vice Principal, Dr. Mubin G. Ma'am, and obviously Dr. Vidya T. Ma'am, HOD, Pharmacy Practice Department, Alamin College of Pharmacy. A sincere thanks to Mr. C.S. Mujibuddin Sir, founder and CEO, Clinosol Research, whose clarity and passion brought the insights of clinical research in our students' life. A cordial thanks to Ms. Uma Priya Ma'am, co-founder and director operations, Clinosol Research, whose enthusiasm and knowledge related to LinkedIn and resume building will be helpful to our students. I would also extend my heartfelt thanks to all the staffs of Pharmacy Practice Department, HODs of all department from Alamin College of Pharmacy. Last but not the least, thanks to my beloved students, and a special thanks to Mairaj Fatima for all her coordination. As we wrap up today's session, I wish all the best to our students to go out and pioneer the next way of breakthrough by implementing the skills and learning from today's session related to the resume and LinkedIn building to achieve impact driven careers, especially in the field of clinical research. Thank you once again, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful weekend and all the best to all of you for your future careers and your learning.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mujib sir. Thank you, Uma ma'am. Nice to catch up you both after a long time. Let's
Thank
be
you
in
so
touch.
much, Vidya, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Thank you
Sure.
so much. It's
Definitely.
our pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you.